Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about some moves I really think the Washington Commanders should make, but I don't think they will. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 9,000 subscribers. So please help me get there. Also hit that like button and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a video. So let's go ahead and get started. Still very early in the season, but so far it's been a disappointing season. The Commanders have started the year 1-2, beating the Jaguars, who so far look like a good team, but lost to the Lions and to the Eagles, and they go to Dallas this week, and it's a big game. You know, rivalry week, but also just it's a divisional game, and they need to win this. They need to get to 2-2, and if you get to 2-2, I think you'll get a lot of fans back, and you'll be in a good position. But there's some real problems with this team that I think should, those problems should be addressed. I don't think they will, because Ron Rivera really doesn't like to do that, especially mid-season, but I think some changes need to be made. So the first one, offensive line has been terrible. I thought going into the year it was going to be better than it was last year, or at least it was going to be comparable. I was dead wrong. Definitely having Chase Roulier out does not help you. He's been out the last couple games, or at least this past game and some of the other game, and he's going to be probably out for the year. So that really sucks. But Trey Turner's been bad, and because Chase Roulier got hurt, Wes Schweitzer can't play guard, which makes it even worse. And then Andrew Norwell also hasn't been great. I think Trey Turner's been the worst out of those two, but Andrew Norwell has not been impressive at all. So I think they could do some things to improve the offensive line, and one that would be obvious is signing Eric Flowers. Eric Flowers would be a plug-and-play guy that knows the system, played here all of last year, and played at a pretty high level. At this point, no one signed him. You can probably get him for pretty cheap, and he would come back, and, he knows John Matsko. He would play at left guard, probably, next to Charles Leno, who he did last year, and next to Schweitzer, who he did a little bit last year as well, if Schweitzer continues to play center. I think that would be a very, very logical move that they could make. I don't think they're gonna make it, but it makes too much sense. You can get him for very cheap. Who knows? Maybe he wouldn't want to come back just because of a pride thing, but it doesn't look like he has that many options, and he knows the system. He's a good player. He played at a very high level, in my opinion, last year. Not a Pro Bowl level, but a pretty high level, and is a good starting guard in this league, and it seems like the teammates love him. Always sticks up for the quarterback. I love that about Eric Flowers, and if I'm Washington, if I'm the Commanders, I would go ahead and sign him today. Again, though, don't think it's going to happen, but that's one solution. And there's other offensive linemen out there that they could sign at either guard or tackle to improve the depth or just the starters in general. But again, I don't see it happening, and there's not that many guys that know the system, and Eric Flowers is one of them. I'm pretty sure there's a couple former Carolina Panthers guys that they could sign, but that's really it. So hopefully they're able to sign, or hopefully they do sign Eric Flowers, but again, don't see it happening. Another guy I would love for them to sign is Blake Martinez. Our linebackers haven't been great. Davis, the last couple games, has been a lot better. Holcomb still hasn't been great, in my opinion, and I just don't think he's a middle linebacker. If you bring in Blake Martinez, he can play middle linebacker for you, and you can have Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis more on the outside. Martinez is a very good player, or was a very good player with the Packers his last couple years, was solid for the Giants, and he's an above-average linebacker in this league, which is better than we have at the moment. You can get him for cheap. He knows the system, and, I think it would be a good signing. He visited with the Ravens, and I don't think he signed with them. Correct me if I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, then you don't have to sign Martinez. You can go ahead and sign A.J. Klein, who I don't think is as good as Martinez, but again, knows the system, played for Ron in Carolina, also played, with the Buffalo Bills, who Ron loves to get players from the Bills or from the Panthers, and he's solid. He's a good backup to have in case Davis or Holcomb get hurt, and they've been playing Mayo some snaps. Like last week he played I think 18-20 snaps, so you would be able to play A.J. Klein some of those snaps as well. So that's just something that I would try to do, or Alexander Johnson, who's a very good linebacker. I think there might be some off-the-field issues with him. I think I heard that. That's why he hasn't been signed, because he was one of the better available free agent linebackers going into free agency, and he still hasn't been signed. So There's probably something there, but if not, I would 100% go ahead and sign him because he's a very solid player. And there's some other guys as well. I know Joe Schober just got signed to a practice squad, but I think you can nab him off. I think it's a Titans practice squad if you want. And there's some other guys as well for sure. So linebacker position needs to be improved. I think the cornerback position does as well. Chris Harris would be a good corner to sign. There's others as well. It's just like the cornerback position is not good. And like honestly, I wouldn't mind signing Chris Harris to be the slot and then having Benjamin St. Juste and Kendall Fuller as the outside corners because I'm done with William Jackson III. We'll see. We'll give him a few more weeks, but if things don't change, I would not be mad at benching him and just having Benjamin St. Juste start at outside because that was the best game out of any of the corners we saw was Benjamin St. Juste against the Philadelphia Eagles last week. He only allowed like one big catch, and it really wasn't a catch. It was it's out of bounds, but Ron Rivera was slow, too slow to challenge, and he allowed a touchdown. But like, it's really hard to stop AJ Brown in a slant and tackle him when AJ Brown's probably 40+ pounds heavier than Benjamin St. Juste. Another one position, D tackle, or this tweet doesn't have to do with it, but I think they need to sign a D tackle. The depth there isn't great, and Allen and Payne can't play the whole game, so I would not mind signing Ndamukong Suh or just Starlu Taleli, who knows the system. Just bring in a veteran who can play some snaps. D end is the same thing, and again, all of these things seem pretty obvious. Besides the offensive line, almost all of these things seemed obvious before the start of the season, really before the offseason, before the offseason got into things with like free agency and the draft. You could tell they were weak at a lot of these positions, especially depth, and that they needed to address it. D end, even when I thought Chase Young was going to play week 1, I still thought we needed edge depth. And now with Chase Young being out at least, this week as well, we'll see how much longer he is out for. And we have so many injuries at D end right now. It's just like crazy that they haven't signed anyone, and I don't think they will. But there was guys available, much better than there are now. But there's still some solid guys available that they could go ahead and sign to improve the defensive end position, the defensive tackle position, because they need depth there. They really do. And the linebacker, I think safety's fine. Safety's fine. I like Curl. I like Force. McCain he is what it is. He is at this point. And some people say Collins. I wouldn't mind Landon Collins back if you can get him for cheap, but if not, it doesn't really matter too much. So that is it for today's video. A quick one, but hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. And tomorrow I will likely have a preview video for the game, and then Saturday we'll have a preview stream going over stat predictions and other things like that. And then of course Sunday is game day. It doesn't have that same feeling that it probably did 20 years ago, but it's still Dallas, and hopefully we can win. Peace, guys.